feet. Touchdown, Ravens!
What a play by the Ravens. It's going to result in a touchdown. Play action. Pass is caught. That's going to be a first down for the Ravens. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. And the crowd goes wild.
What's up, guys? We're back with another episode of the Play Action Podcast. I'll be the host today, wide receivers coach Lamont Johnson.
I'm quarterbacks coach Garrett Stapleton.
Head coach Jonathan Coddington. Good to be back with you all today.
Yes, sir. Good to be back.
Glad to be back. It's been a little bit,
Yeah.
but excited to be back and kind of got some new things to kind of go through. We're going to recap our game from week one, sit down with the player and kind of talk about some things from the game and give you guys just a little bit more about our upcoming opponents this week.
Yeah, excited to kind of do this in season format. Giving a little bit more football talk on it, and excited to get rolling. So
Sure.
kind of as we look back on our opener last week. I think openers are always, an interesting game because, you don't really know what kind of team you got. You don't really know what the opponent, is doing, exactly. And so whether it's NFL, college football, high school football, that opener can always, be a little bit interesting. You got any good memories from, one of your openers as a player?
Yeah. When my first start in high school, actually, we were coming off 0-9. I think we lost like 16 straight games as a program. And I came in, we won 29-7. I got hit so hard in the fourth quarter that I'm about 90% sure I got a concussion and actually fell asleep. The whole team's going crazy on the bus ride home. I was asleep on the bus ride, and we get in the car. I drive home full uniform, like cleats on. Literally just got to the school, grabbed my bag, and I fell asleep in my living room in full uniform.
Wow.
That was my first real high school varsity opener. So that was quite the experience for sure.
I would say a memorable opener, but I don't know if you have any memory about that.
It was a blur for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Coach? You got any memories from an opening game as a player?
Yeah, I can say my junior year at Waldorf. I ended up playing against Kansas Wesleyan, and the cool part for me about that was in that opener, I ended up coaching, GAing with the guy who I played against that year. So it was pretty cool for us to kind of already compete against each other, battle against each other, and then, in the professional world of it, we got a chance to kind of work together and put our brains together as a team. So that was fun.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, yeah, just kind of looking back at our opener, I think that, there were a lot of really good moments, from that game. Obviously, whenever you don't come on the right end of the scoreboard, it is disappointing, but, it's an opportunity for growth and for improvement. And really that's kind of the conversation, with the team this week as we move forward is, it sucks to lose games. It just flat out does. But when you can learn and grow from it, we can turn that into opportunities as opposed to it just being a loss there. Definitely a lot of things to highlight. We had some returning players that did some really good things on the field. We had some new guys that stepped into some big roles as well too. On the defensive side of the ball, I think defense really highlighted this game. For us. Getting some really big stops in some key moments, third downs, getting some red zone stops. One of the big things that we talk about in just our plan to win football games is we got to come up big in those big moments. And our defense held Alfred State 3 times in the red zone to field goal attempts. And a couple of those were in some hard situations. And so great job in those holding on some third downs and some fourth down conversions as well too. We'll talk to Connor Huffman, one of our senior captains on the D line in a moment and kind of go through some film with him. But he had a great game. A lot of tackle for loss, sack as well too. Darion Alexander, freshman in the secondary, starting his first ever college game at free safety. Led the team in tackles and was flying all over the field. That was really cool to see. And so there were definitely I think a lot of highlights on the defensive side of the ball. And there's always within those there's always plays that we need to improve on, things we need to do better. But had some good things there in the kicking game. We had several big plays on special teams. We had a special teams tackle for loss, on their punter. We had a couple of punts that were down inside the 20. We had one really long kickoff return, by Antonius Hurd as well too. And so, great to see that, kicking phase of the game, make some good plays. Some individuals that, kind of were flying down, making tackles, making some good blocks, making an impact on that phase of the game, as well too. Offensively, had a couple of, new Ravens that stepped up, in your position room. I'll let you kind of talk about those two guys.
Yeah, we had Adam Dunson. He came in after limited practice this week. Suffered an ankle, knee injury during camp, but he came in and contributed. Did a great job with a couple big catches to keep the drives going. Bring us some momentum going into the half with the deep catch that he caught over the middle. And then we got a local guy from Alexandria, Gabe McGuire, who had a big game. More so in the second half, had a couple big conversions on third down, breaking a couple of tackles and keeping the drive alive, which is huge. But overall, it was just nice to see us kind of have some of those new guys step up and have some of the guys who've been here, kind of keep doing their thing. So it was great. It was great to see that.
Yeah, most definitely. And at the end of the day, just seeing our guys fight for 4 quarters and battling it out. There's positives we can take away from that. And in these, more than just week 1, but in the first few weeks of the season, really, it's a lot about finding out who your team is and what we do well, molding our game plan around our guys while getting great at the fundamentals of football. And excited to take some of those good things into week 2 with us, excited to, this week of practice, correct some of those things that need to be corrected and move forward. But I think that we, as a coaching staff, we could all agree that a lot of the things that did not go well are things within our control. And so those are things that we can absolutely fix going into, week 2. And we're excited to do that and, just show that we can mature and grow as a team week after week after week. So, well, let's go ahead and, bring Connor Huffman out and let's hop into the film room. All right, guys, welcome to the Film Room segment of our podcast. Want to welcome Connor Huffman, senior defensive lineman, captain, to the podcast. Connor, welcome.
Nice to be here. I'm very happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, well, so what we want to be able to do here is just really talk through a couple of your plays, from Saturday. I'd love to hear your insight on kind of what you were thinking as you did. Obviously, you were in the backfield a lot against Alfred State, and it was, really fun just to see the energy you played with. And let's go and dive into a couple clips here.
Awesome.
So in this first clip here, we got Alfred State, and they're a run-heavy team, right? They want to line up with 2 tight ends. They want to run the football. We spent tons of time prepping for that run game. You guys did a good job in practice, kind of leading up to it. And let's talk through a couple specific plays. So this first one, we get a little toss play, to the left side, and here you are, kind of lined up on the left as a defensive end. Start right here and just kind of walk me through your thought process through this play.
Yeah, so just like you were just saying, we took a lot of time to go through these plays, really know what they were trying to do. So in this case, we had a slant that was going to the field side, so I could cheat out here on this alignment a little bit. I saw that 36 came over. We had a certain call for him, so I kind of knew that there was a good chance that they were going to pitch it over. So I cheated out a little bit, and then as the play starts, I was making sure to watch as these alignment took off. I tried to match up my takeoff with theirs, and this guy just was too slow getting out of his stance, beat him off the ball, and then made the tackle.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think, what you said, your get off is huge. Like anytime, no matter really what position you play, if you could fire off the ball hard and just start that play really well, obviously good things happen. You beat that tight end off the ball, he's behind, and, at that point you're able to make a really good tackle in a big moment. And having that tackle for loss on starting the drive, because this is the first play of one of their drives, right? And offensively, if you could start the drive out well, the success goes, forward. And so for you to come off and right out of the gate get a tackle for a loss, now they're in 2nd and 15. That's so much harder for an offense. So that was a great job, really good play. And then, got to feel good as you get up and get your teammates coming to celebrate with you.
Oh, yeah. And that's where it's at right there, just hyping up your boys.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's go to this next play, here. So, we're now in the, beginning of the 4th quarter. Now, this is a big 3rd down play, 3rd and 7. And, a team that, obviously is playing a lot more, kind of a run style of offense. 3rd and 7 now, we know it's time for pass and time for pass rush. I know we didn't get to do maybe as much in this game as we do in other games, but so take us through now your third down mentality. As you see the sticks, it's 3rd and 7. What's your thought process going into this play?
So I knew, like you were saying, going into 3rd and 7, it's a big play, and I knew that there's a big possibility, it's going to be a pass. And at this point in the game, we were still, it's still a ball game. We're still fighting to win. So I knew that, we needed a big play. We needed to get the defense off the field. In this play, it wasn't the prettiest sack. The secondary definitely helped us out a lot. It took a long time to get there, but I was setting up outside the whole time with this tackle out here. So I'm lined up outside the tight end, get kind of a wide 6, and I knew that he was going to go outside. He was kick stepping real hard outside the whole day. So I faked out inside and then worked back to the outside. Took me a little bit to get there, but like I said earlier, the secondary definitely helped me. And then number 93, Darius Grimes there, helped me out a little bit. But just having a motor, being able to get around those guys and make the play and then get the defense off the field is the biggest part.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And for all week long, not all week long, all game long, defense, we're held them to under, in the 30% range on 3rd down, which is huge. Anytime we get that offense, off the field and get our offense back on, we're just having more and more opportunities to be able to, win that football game. And so that's big in those moments. And, that's where defensive ends make your money, right? You get excited about those 3rd down pass rush opportunities. And I think one of the things, you kind of brought it up, actually the referee in the middle of the game, he brought this up to me as well. He said, man, 55, he just plays with great effort and great energy. That motor's always high, and you see it here that, yes, we don't get to him right away, but the effort to continue to go after him, get that diving sack right there. And then what I really want to see, though, if we can get a reenactment, is this celebration right here. I mean, there's some excitement there.
Man, you just got to kick that leg up and get hype,
Love it.
Got to hype your boys up.
Yeah. Well, cool. Last play that we're going to go through. Now, we're in the 3rd quarter here, okay, and it's another 3rd down. Difference was, though, 3rd and 7. Now we're 3rd and 3, and we're in the red zone. What's the difference in mentality in a 3rd and 3 versus a 3rd and 7?
Well, especially like a team like this, they love to run the ball. And in the formation that they're in, it just suggests that it's run heavy. And like I said, we've gone through all those formations time and time again since last year. So I kind of knew that going into a 3rd and 3, I have to make sure that I'm ready to go against the run just like the pass. And it ended up being a run here. So what I did is I took on the puller, and then as they started the down block, I kind of rode the down block down, saw the guy with the ball, and then I started riding down into his lane. He was giving me a little bit of a hug there, so that was pretty nice of him. But at the end of the day, it's just weight room. You got to get that guy down and make a play.
Yeah, most definitely. It's not always picture perfect, not always clean. You got to fight through a lot of holds, right? And I mean, I don't think that there's a play where offensive linemen aren't holding you guys,
right.
And we still got to fight through because those don't always get called. And then love seeing that celebration again. So 2 big 3rd down stops, 1 in the pass, 1 in the run. Now you mentioned 2 things in that. First one was the film study and the preparation going into it, the formation recognition. Tell us, how much effort and time goes into that study beforehand to prepare you to know what you should do to make that play?
I mean, if not as much as, you're on the field. You got to take a lot of time to, get in the playbook. You got to know exactly what they're doing, because if you don't, you're not only hurting yourself, but also the guys that are with you. So you really got to take, our coaches say 10 minutes a day, but you got to go 20, 30 minutes a day to really know what you're doing, and you got to know what they're doing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second part of kind of that preparation and the reaction was, you talked about recognizing that they're doing down blocks, fighting over top. So there's the film study of, okay, I think I know what play's coming here, but then there's the techniques that you've got to execute to be able to do that. What is that like in the preparation of preparing for certain things that the offense is going to give you?
I mean, it's a lot. Our coach definitely guides us through that in the week, because especially from film study, the tendencies that they have, kind of what they're wanting to do. So we have drills during the week that help us prepare for those. Like we take on down blocks every week, and then we also work at getting over the top every week. So it's really just mastering those during the week, treating each rep like it's a game rep, and then that'll carry over into the game.
Yeah, man, well, awesome. Obviously you made a lot of really good plays on Saturday. I know you're not satisfied. I know you're hungry to make a lot more plays. Can't wait to see you in the backfield again, coming up this week. Now, as we kind of transition to our next segment, I want to throw it to you. Do you got a question that you'd like to ask the team?
That's a good question. I'd say, what is your biggest Week 1 NFL hot take?
Steelers are winning the Super Bowl. Steelers win the bowl. I know they had 6 field goals, but they win the bowl.
That's a hot take. Oh, easy. Pittsburgh Steelers 2025 Super Bowl champs. Chris Boswell, MVP. He's gonna win it. He's gonna.
The Colts are who we thought they were.
Anthony Richardson's winning MVP. Lock it in.
Colts to the Super Bowl.
AR is the best quarterback in the league.
I might go Caleb Williams, Rookie of the Year. He doesn't always look bad. He's on my fantasy team, and I kind of need it. So,
Lions winning the bowl.
okay.
Not a hot take, but Lions to the Super Bowl.
Lions to the Super Bowl.
I think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl.
Isaiah likely scored that touchdown.
Eagles the best team in the league, and we have the best running back. The Bears aren't going to win another game this whole year.
Ooh, I don't have hot takes. I'm a Bengals fan, so I'm.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Jamar Chase is the biggest crybaby, and I'm a Bengals fan. It's pathetic.
Cincinnati Bengals 2025 NFL champs. Jamar Chase is the most overrated receiver in the NFL.
Brock Purdy is not a system quarterback. He's actually a very good quarterback, not just a system quarterback.
That's what Saquon will become the top 3 running back again.
Crazy. That's not crazy.
Ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Jaguars win it all. That's crazy. The Rams to the Super Bowl.
Baker Mayfield's gonna win MVP this year.
Caleb Williams will be the best quarterback in the league.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback to ever live.
Come on, Ravens. We got to do better, bro. Let's work.
The Cowboys are going to cowboy sooner or later.
Can't go wrong, will go wrong.
So, the Browns still suck, though.
All right, thank you, Connor Huffman, for coming down and breaking down some of your plays from the Alfred State game. Great game, and we're looking forward to seeing you continue to do that throughout the season. Connor Huffman is a few tackles for loss away for joining tackles for loss in his career in our school history. So again, we're looking forward to seeing him achieve that here this season. Now we want to transition into our Week 2 opponent, Oberlin. It's our first time playing against these guys, and we're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know, during the season, one of the it's a double-edged sword. It's a good thing, and it can be challenging at times. And these weeks really fly by, and they go fast. And but we're really excited to get into Week 2 and get into this matchup against Oberlin. Now, Oberlin's a team that, as we've seen them on film and heard about them, we've never played them before, but from what we've gathered, kind of from them, they're a team that plays really hard. They are a tough team, and we're excited because we think it's going to be a really good matchup. For our guys to be able to show kind of the growth and improvement from Week 1. Some of the things that we're hoping to be able to kind of see continue are some of those big plays that we saw. The conversions, the conversion downs, the tackles for loss, the sacks. Having our defense get after it. We put some really good coverage as well too last week. And as Alfred State was a little bit more of a run-heavy team, Oberlin's a little bit more of a pass-heavy team. And so our secondary, I think, is going to be challenged a little bit more. But man, I know they're excited for that challenge. Because they want that ball, and I think that they're going to be excited to hopefully have some opportunities for some turnovers and interceptions, there. And so, from what we see from them defensively, they like to bring a lot of pressure. They like to blitz a lot, and so that is going to, I think, give us some good challenges offensively and some good opportunities, as well for us to step up in protection as well as to be able to get the ball out quick. We've got I think some guys that are going to really be able to step up, this week. At the end of the day, though, it's a lot less about who we're playing, and it's a lot more about how we play football and playing our style of football, playing Raven football. We know that we got to do the things that it takes to be able to statistically have a higher probability of winning football games, and those things are, just first off, not beating ourselves, playing a clean football game, reducing the amount of penalties and mental errors, and loaves. If we play a clean game, we're going to be in a spot where we're going to be able to, win that football game. Winning the turnover battle, forcing turnovers on defense, protecting that football on offense. Got to do a really good job of that on both sides of the ball. We want to work really hard to control, the game as well too. Having positive runs, positive completions, more than the opponent. If we are controlling that game, we're converting well on third down. We're holding them on their third down attempts and getting our offense back on the field. I know that we're gonna, be in a spot to be successful. And when those big moments come about, and we don't really know when they're gonna come about. You always look back after a game and say, man, it was these plays that made all the difference in the game, but you don't know going into that play. It's like we got to treat every play like it's about to be that play, but you just got to do your job. And if you do your job within the context of the greater, scheme and, what we're trying to do as a team, we're going to be in a spot to make those plays. And maybe it comes in the form of an explosive run, an explosive pass. Maybe it comes in the form of, creating a turnover, getting a sack on defense, or blocking a kick, or having a big return. However it comes about, we've just got to be ready to make those plays when they happen. And, when it comes to it, is football's a 4-quarter game. And, you don't win games in the first quarter, in the second quarter. It's going to take 4 quarters. And when it gets to that fourth quarter and that game is on the line, we've got to have ultimate focus and effort and intensity and to be able to win that game in the fourth quarter. And so, it's about us. It's about playing our version, our brand of football. And I'm excited as we take a step into week 2 to be able to, put more on film and show who we are and how we're growing throughout the season. So looking forward to getting into it with these guys.
Yeah.